All right, and surely this is Smart Main's business, and we're back at it again to give you more of the business updates as they're happening in real time, wherever you're catching up the show from. You're watching Smart 24 TV, and I'm Jerome Paul Sonko. It is the 3rd of January 2023, and the month just kicked off on Sunday. That means it is the start of the year as well, because January, but the business community is still awake and it's still moving on with giving more realistic views about how best people will definitely be going through whatever is happening into their lives. But crossing over to quite a number of things that we will be having for you today, looking steadily at what the International Monetary Fund has to say as they continue to warn the African continent and as well as the third world economies about a global recession that is likely to take place. That and more is what we will be discussing today from the international scene as well as from our local business outlets later on in the show. But also we shall be looking steadily in sports business to try to understand and break down for you Cristiano Ronaldo's move to Al Nassr. How much will he be earning? And then also looking at the jersey sales that he made in the first few days for after signing for Al Nassr, or after being announced as a player for the Saudi Arabian Pro League club. And also, on the other hand, we shall be looking at more from the business world, because we are dedicated to giving you that update every single morning. But before we actually go deeper into any other analysis, just to remind you that Zabu is available for you
to
data,
invest
in bonds
no
and securities quickly.
Zabu,
use the USSD code *292# and then follow the prompts that will be available for you after initiating that particular USSD code. Remember, Zabu says that with just a minimum of 15,000 Ugandan shillings, you will be able to kickstart off your investment journey. And of course, you can do this by only registering with your NIN and then getting an account. And that will definitely give you a good count for your money. Of course, as we continue to give you more updates, remember these markets on Zabu open at 8:15 a.m. and do close at 3:15 p.m. East African Standard Time. They only close during weekends and during public holidays. The rest of the days, Zabu markets are open. And of course, that is Zabu for you. My money, my future. Zabu is powered by Altex East Africa, which says do something new. Well, now let's cross over to the press review. Okay, now with the press review, I've got the New Vision and the Daily Monitor this time round as the Freedom City tragedy. As you look at this particular update, the organizer has been arrested and President Museveni has given 50 million shillings. The Deputy Inspector General of Police, Geoffrey Kasigazi Tumsime, in this particular pictorial was in place here accordingly to give out, to take a look at what happened yesterday, the previous day after the stampede. And then also there was the Kampala Minister, Misa Kabanda, who was also part of the other activations, who was also part of those who are actually available at this particular time. Now, besides the same situation, you get to realize that the human trafficking police has busted cartel from Burundi. That is another report coming in from there. Police busting cartel from Burundi. That and more is inside here in the press review. Then as we look at the Hoima Airport, still with the New Vision, the Works Ministry has rejected 59 billion loan proposal that was released in there for the Hoima Airport. Now, besides that, security alert, Islamic cleric, 20 others have been arrested in a raid, still with the New Vision. Now, also these unexposure tricks used by court clerks to extort money is also in here with the New Vision. Now, the second page highlights that government delivers agricultural machinery to veterans. Which machinery, which veterans have been given. You can still get more of that this particular morning, as area MPs have defended loan proposal that is for the people in Hoima district. The area MPs in there have defended the loan proposal that they feel should be quite helpful to them as well. Now here, the event promoter Abe Mosinguzi, commonly known as Abetex, was arrested following that New Year stampede at the Freedom City on the 31st that left numbers dead and of course others injured during that particular time. So he has a lot to question. And then on the other hand, there is a drop in fuel prices easing pressure on households. Another report here with the new vision, and it's something that you would definitely have to understand more regarding the fact that is inflation stabilizing or not. So that is what you can get from the new vision in regards to the press review and what is happening from the world of business. Now crossing over to the Daily Monitor, and with the Daily Monitor, as we look at this particular, road accidents have given government a wake-up call on safety. How is government intending to tackle that particular call come 2023, this very year? Then also, on the other hand, is that on the stampede issue, parents are still in here, and the journey to fight more bodies still ongoing. Then in the Prosper magazine, will President Ruto's government change Uganda's trade fortunes? That is a big highlight story in there that is coming in from the Prosper magazine. Also, regarding another side of the business angle, Uganda named among the world's top tourism destinations in 2023. So this very year, Uganda is highly expected to be having tourists coming through after CNN lists Uganda among the top global tourist destinations that tourists globally should choose if they are to travel out of their countries seeking for tourism, adventure, and finding out more. And of course here, Abetex and others are facing charges over Freedom City stampede. Still another issue in here. Now, the finance ministry has raised red flag over high population growth rate after a 2021 survey shows that the working age population is almost 23 million. Now, 40.2% population in subsistence agriculture. This is regarding the same findings from the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. Now, also the issues to do with the animals that have hindered Moya Safari Lodge plane from safe landing. That is another report that is in here with the Daily Monitor. You can definitely look through it. Now, how government also plans to turn Kampala into a smart city. Another report here in the Daily Monitor. How will that be possible? How will government execute it? And what are the tools that the government intends to utilize in order to focus on this particular one? Now, also, Minister Babalanda has ordered RDCs to support President Museveni's activities. And lastly, NRM officials have appealed to God over thieving government officials. In between the lines here, 648.2 billion Ugandan shillings have been lost. That is according to the Inspectorate of Government, that Uganda lost 9.144 trillion to corruption conduits present in both the private and public sector. And this is something that you could clearly see that Uganda wants to work upon. So that is it for the press review this morning. And right now, with the press review aside, we cross over to the traffic updates to see how traffic is moving on within the capital of Kampala, just to prepare you as a viewer and as a traveler out at home, how you will be moving out and how you will be seeing your way into the city. Pretty much for you to at least understand early how you can peruse through and which routes you can be able to use this particular time. Do remember that the year just kicked off, and of course the business community, for most of those who had actually gone on leave, 2 weeks, 1 week, 1 month, are back this week. Others will be definitely back next week, starting on the 9th of January. But if it is the month that has kicked off this particular week, you get to realize that traffic will definitely be picking up, most especially to the Kampala suburbs that are linking to the capital. And that is something that you should be well conversant with as you're coming through, as you're heading to work in the different places, as some of the images that you're definitely seeing at this particular moment. Now, we are switching our eyes to Wandegea for you to at least see how the traffic flow is at this particular morning. For the vehicles that are actually coming in from Makerere Hill, that means those who are coming in from the side of Nankulabi, Hoima Road, coming this way, clearly showing you that it is a morning that people are just picking up slowly, and then the shops in Wandegea are just opening up for most of the people because it is already 7 a.m. and that is officially a standard time for most of the people who actually kickstart off their day, and that is something that you should be well conversant with. So as we continue to give you more of these updates, you should be looking at how best you can kickstart off your day, how best you will be using these road routes as we give you more of the updates coming in this morning. Wandegea is yet to be that busy this particular morning, but of course it does clearly show you that the business community is just preparing to move out. The business community is moving out, trying to cope up with the trend that you have to wake up quite early, kickstart off your day as well. The traffic flow is not yet that tight as you could be expecting at the Wandegea traffic lights, and that is something that for you as a traveler now, or someone who is intending to move into town or to head to your workplace, you should be looking at the possibility of leaving your home or your house, wherever you are currently, and you use those channels to at least hit the road at this time. In 5 minutes, you will be ready to find your way through town, because currently it is only the flow of the traffic that is the traffic light that is actually making it making the vehicles stop ahead as they continue to move forward and things like that. So you should be thinking of how best you're going to be going through as an individual. Well, it is not something that we should be looking at here, but as we continue to give you these updates, you should be knowing that as the day kicks off, 7 a.m. is normally a time when most of the people are rushing. It is rush hour for most of the early birds who are actually heading to their workplaces or offices. And then swiftly at 8 a.m. is normally the time when traffic jam starts heating up around 8 to 10. That is around to 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Because now the business community becomes too busy at that time, and everyone is just opening up their shops. People are already settled into their offices. Of course, the meetings are done, and so you as an individual, you should be thinking of getting out of your home and your workplace as well. If you ask me about the turn up yet so far, back in the time when it was this particular time in around December, before Christmas, Wandegea at this time was flooded. Mulago areas, Kamocha lanes were really flooding at the time with vehicles. So it is just that people are back. One, you could definitely say most of them have been resting a little bit, now getting back onto working, and so they're getting back onto the working situation and getting used once more after that long leave, or that particular 2 weeks leave because of the festive season. So after that, at the end of it all, you will be expecting most of them to return to their workplaces. So you, as an early bird, you should be thinking about how you get out of the vehicle, how you get out of the house and hit the road steadily. But also, just to quickly remind you that you should be a safe driver. You should move safely with the way you are giving out or moving in. You should be clearly making it a fundamental part of you that you should be driving safely. Make sure you have the right full driving license. You have the third-party insurance with you. For the borders, do you have your reflector jackets on? Do you have your helmet on? So you should be having all this with you, and at the end of the day, you will be experiencing lots of changes for the other chances as an individual. As we are starting off this particular business day, it is something that you should be focusing more on and looking forward to experiencing at the end of it all. So that is something that we should be ready to understand and move forward with this particular morning, as we give you more of these particular updates. As you can see, images coming in from Wandegea. Most of the roads around the YMCA, you get to realize, connecting to Kampala Road, not yet busy for now, so you can easily kickstart off your business day by leaving your home and moving out to kickstart off that particular one before traffic jam heats up. And well, that is it for the traffic updates this particular morning. And we're definitely going to be heading into a break. When I do return, of course, Karibu, East Africa. Not only that, I also do have the S&P International updates. We'll be looking at what the IMF has got to say in regards to the new year 2023. How prepared should we be? And then also something regarding the Nairobi Stock Securities Exchange, where something about investors losing billions in there is coming up. So stick around, I have more coming for you here on your Daily Kickstarter.
Smart 24, driving business.